1,300 of you gamers answered our poll asking which monitor would you rather have? An OLED 4K 32-inch or a WQHD 34-inch widescreen OLED? I kind of thought you guys would be more in the middle since I personally love gaming on larger widescreens, but it was not even close. 75% of you chose the 32-inch 4K screen. I'd like to thank Best Buy for sending me the monitor of my choice and for sponsoring this video. Even before my first Best Buy sponsorship, it's always been my go-to for anything tech. Mainly for the trust that they built up over time and how easy they make returns. With 60-day returns, exclusive discounts, and an automatic 2-year warranty on everything that I buy, those are the 3 biggest benefits that sold me. I actually joined years ago with my own money. But back to the monitor. This is the monitor that I think you guys will appreciate the most after collecting all of your feedback. The all-new LG Ultra Gear 32-inch OLED, LG's best seller. Really excited to dive into some of these insane features this monitor has that you won't find anywhere else. Upon opening the box, we've got your optional port cover, the foot for the stand, the arm for the stand, and this little box with all of the cables that you might need. We've got a 210 watt power adapter and power cable, 1 HDMI cable, USB-B cable, and a DisplayPort cable. Setup was really easy. You just need to connect the foot to the arm, flip it over and screw in these little tabs, and then flip that over and just snap it into the back of the monitor and pull it up out of the box. Design-wise, this really is a stunning monitor. LG went with an anti-glare matte finish on the front, which I've always been a fan of. Not everyone shares in this opinion, but I just really don't like to see my reflection on those super glossy OLED displays. Overall, pretty thin design with fairly slim bezels all the way around. On the back, we've got these nice customizable LED strips surrounding a semi-purple reflective Ultra Gear logo in the center. I like that they switched up the foot at the bottom to more confined and flat design. This will give you a lot more usable space on your desk to put things on and around it. The build quality of that back arm feels pretty solid and sturdy, and that angled cable hole made it very easy to feed through all of your cords to keep things looking clean. And if you're not constantly plugging cables in and out, then snapping on that port cover will make things look even more tidy. These ports include 2 HDMI 2.1s, 1 DisplayPort 1.4, a USB Type-B 3.0, 2 USB 3.0 Type A's, and your dual mode button, which is an insane feature that allows you to switch between 4K at 240 Hz and 1080p at 480 Hz. Also along the bottom edge of the screen is some ventilation on both sides, as well as a thinner strip at the top. And you can see here in my thermal imaging time lapse that it did a pretty good job getting rid of excess heat during heavy use. In the center of the back panel, we've also got our control joystick. Pressing it gives you access to your menu settings. In here, we've got 2 customizable gaming modes and a bunch of other presets depending on what kind of game you're playing. Then we've also got your typical picture adjustment settings. Then in general, another cool setting is the ability to control and customize your RGB lighting effects for those LED strips on the back. And then in the middle, we've got this sound setting right here, which is not something that you see very often with monitors. We've got just a few sound presets in here and control for your volume. Simply clicking and holding left and right on the joystick is a much quicker way to control that though. Turning it up all the way actually kind of blew me away with how incredibly loud it was. And the quality far exceeded my expectations. And this will save you some money because I think it's enough for a lot of people to forego getting any external speakers or headphones. When it came to the actual picture quality, man, this monitor did not disappoint. I actually had to turn the brightness down in darker environments because it was just too much. Perfect for rooms that have a lot of light though. And with it being an OLED, I expected the contrast ratio to be on point, and you can see here how amazing it looked when having bright objects right next to dark objects. OLED screens like this one have perfect blacks, and it just really makes things pop so much nicer. My tests with my Spider X Pro proved it to have great color accuracy as well, and it looked really good, even at extreme viewing angles. Text looked pretty good on this monitor as well, and even zooming in very closely, you can see how sharp the edges were and how little fringing we got on the edges. My browser limited the UFO test from going past 240 Hz, but you can see here how smooth the edges looked even at half of its capabilities. Gaming is where this monitor really shines though. Even before I start the game, I can already tell the quality is amazing. I really love how the contrast and the blacks just pop out like that. Oh snap. Oh, ran out of grenades. Oh, with the punch. Sometimes you just got a 1-2 punch. Victory! Super Fiesta. Rack up the most kills to achieve victory. This looks incredible, guys. Oh yeah, first kill. Oh, gonna hit him with the red hammer. Boom. Take a seat. All right, let's play some Call of Duty. This looks incredible. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah! Either these guys are really good or I just suck. This is my first time playing Call of Duty at 4K at 120 Hertz, and I must say I'm impressed. The best way to take full advantage of a monitor this insane though is with a top tier gaming PC. This one right here is the Corsair Vengeance i7-500, also sold at Best Buy, and it is a beast. Among all my PC gaming viewers, this was the third best selling gaming PC, and actually the #1 best selling if only comparing the top tier PCs with 4090 GPUs. I'll have links down below for this one as well, but click up here if you want to check out my full review. Let's see what kind of FPS we get. Team deathmatch. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. That is so smooth. Look at that, 467 FPS at maximum graphic settings at 1080p. Lost control. Recon removed. Boom. This is actually making me play better. I just cannot get over how responsive this is. All right, now let's switch it over to 4K at 240 Hertz. And now we got that pixel density up at 4K still at 240 frames per second, which is freaking awesome. So much smoother and higher quality in the PC. It's incredible. Not quite 480 FPS at the maximum graphic settings. Still getting 330 though, which is awesome. Okay, so now at low settings, we are getting that full 480 FPS, which is insanely smooth. Ah, oh, there we go, rocket launcher. It really is kind of hard to appreciate how incredible these FPS are when you're looking at this on YouTube at 30 frames per second. I gotta tell you, 440 FPS that I'm getting right now on Halo Infinite is just incredible. Ah. All right, now let's bump it up to 4K at 240 Hertz. And here we go. Now we're getting about 220 frames per second at 4K. Still incredibly smooth, but now also very high res. Oh yeah. Jeez. You know, I'm curious what kind of FPS I get by cranking all graphics settings all the way back up. Basically the highest that it'll go. Still 170, not bad. Textures look a lot better. Shading looks better. Dang it. As far as the adjustability, it's got a tilt of -10 to 15 degrees, a swivel of 15 degrees in both directions, a pivot of a full 90 degrees for vertical setups, and a height adjustment of about 5 inches. And if you'd like to do away with the stand altogether because you've got your own monitor arm, you can do that pretty easily here because it is VESA mountable. Overall, this is the cream of the crop when it comes to gaming monitors. A little expensive at $1,400 as of this recording, but that's kind of the price that you pay for features that this monitor has that literally no other monitor has. Because OLED panels are subject to burn-in, I would not use this if you're solely using it for only productivity. Menus and toolbars that stay consistently on the screen for several years will result in burn-in. But for gameplay or movies or basically anything that's constantly changing, I definitely recommend it, especially paired with a top-tier gaming PC similar to the one that I showed you earlier. If you do decide to purchase this monitor or anything else that I mentioned, then please remember to use my affiliate links in the comments and description below, as I get a small commission at no cost to you for every single purchase made. And it's actually a major factor in keeping this channel going and getting better and better for you. I'd also like to personally thank all of my members for their monthly support of this channel. I really appreciate you guys. Every little bit helps. Also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on to stay up to date with all of my latest tech and gaming PCs. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you guys. God bless.